Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike, Common Guy Sports. Welcome back. We are here at the 2026 Deep Freeze Invitational. This is our session number 6, 11 to 13-year-olds for this midday session. We'll have one more session after this. Just want to real quick make note that the next session at the beginning will be recognition of the Summit team, the seniors on that Summit team. All right. So if you haven't been with us, we'll do a quick rundown and then we'll get you into swimming. It is 11:28. We're slated to start at 11:35. Real quick, why did that reset? That's weird. I need to change something. Oh, that's why. Shucks. I changed something. I didn't want to change something. Hold on, folks. All right. I'll be back as soon as I can. That's weird. I was bored in between and I changed something I didn't want to. This camera at the start, we had Zoom. Oh, jeez. Now I totally lost it. All right, it's back now. All right, what camera is that? Let's go to 129. I had zoomed that in and then I unplugged it and restarted it, and it went back to its default settings. Give me 1 second, folks. That's not it. All right, we'll see if we can get this back where we wanted it. Should see your picture zooming in slowly. I think that's where we want it. All right, we'll see if that's gonna work. All right, kind of changed, trying to get that camera just good alignment with the lanes and then to see the finish. So that is our start camera. So at the start, we'll have that camera enabled. We'll do the lane overlays. I'll shut the lanes off. We'll transition to middle of the pool. This is the one I've been toying with zooming in. The trade-off though, I zoom in and then I can't get walls on the outside. All right, and then we have another camera down the turn end at the far end. I do have a moving camera. We cleaned up this picture. It was very kind of golden earlier. Got the colors a little bit better. And then we have a wide shot of the whole pool, should things require it, with a lot of separation. We'll go here. In the last shot, we added a new camera. This is at the far end, so if you're familiar, this will be the turn end, and I do get remote control of this. So, thank you to all the, parent organizations that have hired me. So over the years, putting money back in, buying new equipment. Sorry, I said equipment, not toys. So hopefully, if need be, the thinking with this camera is we can zoom in too. So this is known as a PTZ, point tilt zoom. The Z zoom. So if we do get a couple butterflyers, we can see their face coming out, or breaststrokers, we will use that. All right, that's the situation. Hope everybody's having a good day. Starting to warm up outside. If you are in North Carolina, hopefully you're watching this and you're safe. My mom is down there. She's got about 10 inches of snow, and They're not well prepared for it, so that's that. But they're doing okay, so get through it. Again, this is our session 6. Bottom right of your screen, you can see we're starting with event 29, going to 42. All the information is in Meet Mobile. You can download that for your phone or tablet. I did not check if they've put the seating in there. They have. The heat sheets are there. I do have electronic heat sheets, and I'll try and keep all that information up to date for you. So on the top right of your screen, I will update that with the next race. Kind of, if you think of baseball, that's who's on deck. So the first race is 200 medley. I didn't load all this. And you can see we have 3 teams in the first heat. There's 2 heats. And then on that top right, what I'll do after this, now that you know who's starting in Heat 1, top right is the Heat 2 entries. All right. So again, that orange text, that'll be the teams, or in this case teams, because it's relays, and then when we get into individuals, you'll see those up there individually, names, and then that'll be who's on deck. All right, so before we start, we'll take a look behind the blocks. Lane 1 closest to us. If you ever forget, it's there on the starting block, and then it's up here on the flags, the backstroke flags. All right, so for this first race, lane 2 is Summit C. Lane 3, SCY, Sussex County YMCA B team. And then lane 4, Summit SAY, Summit Area Y. That is their B team. So we'll have 3 teams. Behind here, you'll see the other teams lining up. Take a look. WY Westfield, WMY West Morris, Say in the dark cap, Say in the championship cap there. Dabney. What other caps we got? We'll take a look. Oh, the other housekeeping thing. You'll see over on the wall here, the swimmers, they'll come down from upstairs, and then they'll queue up here. All right, that was SCY Sussex caps. I was looking for the West Morris. They have kind of greenish letters, making you dizzy. All right, if you want, post a question, comment in the chat. I'll try and keep an eye on that. Keep it interactive if you'd like. Any swimmers that are having a great meet, great couple days, you want to put a note in there. Hello, let's go SCY, absolutely. Ches Dueler? Dueler? All right, welcome, glad you can join us. Yes, I agree, go SCY. All right, I have to take a second here. I'm going to put a link in the chat. Our hearts are with Sussex County Y. Back on the 22nd, one of their swimmers passed away due to brain cancer. And so a shout out to, want to send our condolences to the family and share our love with them. I posted a link to the story. SwimSwam did a story on it. Please give that a read in Adrian's honor. Really sad story, and send our heartfelt condolences to the family and the teammates, to the whole Sussex County team. I just heard one of the officials say to the other, "Are we ready?" It's always a good thing. Bottom center of your screen, those are your start officials. That black box is the start box. You'll see the strobe come off there. Try and keep that in view, for the reason while you're watching it, you can almost judge reaction time. If you are on a computer with YouTube, if you pause it, You can use the period and the comma to actually go frame by frame. Again, I don't know if anybody's using it for that purpose. I am streaming in pretty good quality. The Y gives me a great internet connection, so I am able to stream in what's known as 1080p or high def. So hopefully you're viewing it in that, and even on a large TV, it should be pretty good quality. All right, here we go. This is event 29 in the pool. Nina, Kaylin, and Ellie, 2, 3, 4. We're underway. 200-yard medley relay. Again, top right, those teams are on deck. So each swimmer swimming a 50 down and back. Good support from the teammates there above the wall. All right, we'll have transition when they come back. Again, each swimmer down and back, just swimming a 50. We'll go above so you can see the swimmers coming off the blocks. Entering the pool, 2 should be Gina, 3, Ava Spiro, 4, Ella Kim. All right, that's in numerical order, closest to furthest. Lane order, numerical order, however you want to reference that. Again, top right are the teams on deck. Up next. Oh, we should do this. Good turnover in the middle there by Ava. Entering the pool, lane 2, Samantha, lane 3, Peyton, lane 4, Lila. Again, that's closest to furthest. You should be able to hear the excitement on deck. All right, when we come back, entering in lane 2, Mira, lane 3, Bailey, lane 4, Eloise. That's Bailey, that should be Eloise, and Mira. All right, lead group already at the far end. This is Sussex County YBT, middle of the pool. They came in 2:27.56. All right, we'll follow them home, and then we'll go wide in a second. Again, dropping off at 2:27. That's like a 2-second improvement. Nice job. Nice job, ladies. That was heat 1 of 2 of event 29. All right, here we go. Heat 2, entering the pool. Riley, Emily, Kate, Maisie, Annabella, and Sonia, 1 through 6. You see the seed times there, 2:03 low seed, Westfield A and 3. Underway. This is the final heat, and then we'll move on to the boys' side. 2 heats also on there. Top right, you see the lane assignments for that first heat. Entering the pool, lane 1, Alexa, 2, Sophia, 3, Sophie, 4, Kaylee, 5, Dabney, 6, Deanna. Again, that is in lane order, not running order. That is your lane 4, West Morris YA team. Should be Kaylee down there turning. And I say should be just because the names I got, there is potential that the relays change. This is 4, 5, 6. Entering the pool, lane 1, Barbara, 2, Caroline, 3, Gianna, 4, Sophia, Saguo, 5, Lyndon, 6, Makia. All right, we'll stay here for a second. Got to swing to the far end. All right, lead group there, 4 and 5, geez. All right, lane 4, West Morris A. Lane 5, Summit A. Final swimmers about to enter. Lane 1, Charlotte. 2, Cecilia. 3, Isabel. Utso's in 4, 5, Alexandra, and 6, Eloise. All right, lead group's gonna be at the far end. We'll jump there. They've already turned. Looks like lane 5, Summit A. They came in 2:08.93. We'll catch them coming home here. This is the race for first. Dropping a ton, Summit A off a 2:08. 2:02.15. That's 6.7. Nice job. Again, that was the final heat here. Big second half there for Summit. All right. First heat for the boys. They'll step in. This is heat 1 of 2. Summit C is in 2. Summit B is in 3. And Sussex A in 4. Heat 1 of 2. In the pool, Owen, Jorge. Somebody please help me out. Jorge or George, I don't know how he pronounces it. And then Sebastian's in 4. Again, this is heat 1 of 2. Names for the second heat, top right. All right, coming back, here we go, entering the pool. Harrison's in 2, Joel in 3, and Joey in 4. That should be Joey, and this should be Harrison. Middle of the pool, that is Summit B, ready at the far end. We'll catch them as they turn, get a little, what we call grandma shots, see some faces. All right, coming back, third swimmers. 2, James, 3, Lars, 4, Josh. So that is our lane 3. That should be Lars Hoagland. This should be Josh Watkins. And then 2, James Sini. We're underway. Ready at the far end. Fourth swimmers entering lane 2, Vivan. 3, Jack. 4, Braden. So that should have been Braden entering. That's, I'm sorry, Jack is already in. That should be Braden. And we have Vivan on the block, ready to go. All right, lead group already working their way back. That is our lane 3 group, Summit B. Jack bringing it home. 2:14.06. They came in on a 2:24.88. That's 10 plus. Second group coming under the flags. This will be the Sussex team. That's Braden bringing it home. They came in 2:33. They're dropping time. 3.7. Nice job. And 5-second drop there for Summit C up in lane 2. Here we go. Final heat. This is heat 2. All right, that's going to be our final relay. In a few seconds, you'll see individual names on the top right. In the pool here, lane 1, Nikita. And then we have Enrico, Jaden, Anthony, and Ian, 1 through 5. Entering lane 1, Matthew. 2, Charlie. 3, Ian McTee. 4, Grays. And 5 is Tommy. All right, everybody in the pool. We're at the far end already, lane 3. That is your West Morris A team. Should be Ian McTee. Next swimmer's in, third swimmer, lane 1, Jack. 2, Henry. Lane 3, Ethan. Lane 4, Noah. Lane 5, David. We catch our lead group, lane 3, making his way back. Should be right here. Oh, did I read that wrong? Maybe this is Ethan and Cullen entering the pool here for West Morris. Lane 2, is that Luca entering? Lane 1 will be Alex. Let me go wider here. Alex entering in 1. Lane 4, Andrew. Lane 5, Joseph. Lead group ready turned at the right side. Lane 3, White Cap making his way back. Lane 3 into the finish, West Morris A. They came in 2:03.71. We're dropping almost 2 full seconds. 1.97. Nice drop, guys. 2:06 there for the Westfield team. Big drop off of 2:13.33. That's 7 plus. 2:13. That's 10 plus for Summit A. In 1, 2:19. I didn't update names yet. We're going to have individual names. We'll get those to you. Shucks. All right, here we go. Here's our individual names. These will refresh. 450 freestyle, 14 heats. This is going to go quick. We are underway. Heat 1 of 14. Chloe, Rayera, Myra, and Danielle. Again, 14 heats for this 50 free, down and back. $50 free for 11 to girls, 11, 12-year-old. State time 50 free is a $29.99. We're going to see some of those hopefully later. Yeah, I'm going to see an 11-year-old with the 29.29 Sophie Zhang later on. But low time 35.60 here goes to Chloe. All right, again, that was heat 1 of, yes, 14. Names for heat 3, top right. Eloise, Maya, Samantha, Morgan, Nina, and Emer in the pool. Low time here is going to be lane 4, Morgan. She goes 30.41. Awesome swim, Morgan. Huge drop off of 35.6. That's 6.2 or 5.2. Heat 3. Names for 4, top right. In the pool, Eloise, Matilda, Emily, Elizabeth, Kalyani, and Anna, 1 through 6. Again, this is heat 3 in the pool. Looks like lane 4 is going low. That's Elizabeth, came in 32.80, dropping 0.8 of a second off that. Nice job. That was heat 3. Here we go, heat 4. Names for 5, top right. In the pool, 4, Ella, Olivia, Bailey, Lila, Vivian, and Gina. Might hear music, might be a giveaway. So sometimes they have prizes for a low time. It looks like lane 5, Vivian might be going home with the prize, maybe. We'll see. Keep an eye around. Somebody chases her down. That was heat 4. Here we go with heat 5. Top right, names for 6. In the pool, Karis, Keat, Esme, Hannah, Yasmin, and Aditi. Ladies have all turned shoulder to shoulder at that far end. Looks like slight lead here at lane 3. Esme. We're going sub 30, right at it. 30-20 for Esme. She came in 31-23. That's 1.03. Huge drop there. Here we go, heat 6. Names for 7, top right. Kaylin, Sophie, Nora, Alexandra, Molly, and Cecilia. Could be lane 1, little outside smoke, maybe no. Lane 4 goes to the touch. Lawler, 29.91, dropping 30, breaking 30, 30.66 seed time. Nice job, Alexandra. Congratulations, going sub 30. Next heat, heat 7. In 7, Sophie, Sarah, Anna, Hannah, Gabriella, and Lila. Everybody here came in 30.2, 30.3, 30.4, 30.5. Do we have another sub 30? Guessing lane 2, 29.14. Anna breaks it by dropping over a second there. Nice sub 30. A couple of them in the middle of the pool. 3 of them to be exact. Here we go with heat 8. In 8, Naz, JC, Julia, Addie, Caroline, and Jenny. I think Jenny swam the 400 IM, if I remember correctly, a little while ago. All right, here come the ladies to the wall. Looks like lane 4, slight lead. She gets a touch there, 29.39. Addie coming down off of 29.99. Nice job. A couple other 29s there. Naz and JC also breaking the 30. This is heat 9. All right. Names for 10 are updated. In the pool, Hannah, Sophie, Harper, Barbara, Riley, and Ella. 9 of 14 in the pool. Lane 1, lane 3, lane 6, maybe lane 6, outside smoke, 28.44 there for Ella. That's 28.54, sorry, over a second drop off a 29.59 seed. That's huge swim there, nice job. This is 10. Molly, Alexa, Lisa, Claire, Isabella, and Valeria. State time again is at $29.99 for the 11, 12-year-old girls. Low time there was lane 3. Sorry, I looked away for that other time. Here we go, heat 11. All right, music's playing. Make Mayaka, sorry, Deanna, Gianna, Lily, Annabella, and Olivia. Low time lane 6, 28:27 for Olivia. Nice drop. That's about a half second. Here we go. Heat 12. Charlotte, Kate, Chloe, Katie, Sophia, and Elizabeth in the pool. "13, 14-year-olds, state time for 50 free, 27:09. There's a 28:04 for Kate. That's a drop off of 28:43. Nice drop. This is 13 of 14. Alexandra, Lisa, Maura, Alexandra, Stella, and Sonia, swimmers in the pool here. Again, 27:09 state time for the older group. 27:48 for lane 4, Alexandra. Great swim there. Final heat, heat 14. Maisie, Dabney, Sarah, Amelia, Reagan, and Lyndon. We're going to get some names for the boys up there on the top right. They'll be up next. Low seed coming in, awesome time. Sarah Sang, 25:45 seed. She's right on that, 25:58, awesome. 27 flat for Dabney. 26:87, that's a big drop. Lyndon down in lane 6, came in 27:14. First heat for the guys, boys. Heat 1 of 8. Ladies, great job. If I overlooked somebody's significant drop, please put it in the chat. I'd like to recognize the swimmers. All right, guys coming home here. Again, this is heat 1 of 8. Braden, Chase, Logan, William, and Vavon. Low time on the board, 34:61 for Logan, dropping off a 35:10. Heat 2. Joseph, Daniel, Joel, Viam, Leo, and Bruno in the pool, about to start. We're underway with our heat 2 of 8. Names for 3, top right. First to turn, lane 3, that's Joel. As they say, Joe goes wire to wire. Low time came in 32.72. That's over a second drop. 31.57, bringing it home. Nice job. Here we are, heat 3. Thomas Harrison, Alex, Daniel, Nikita, and Anton. Music. So this is known as a hot heat. If there's potential giveaways, that's how they recognize or kind of indicate. I don't know, swimmers might not even hear it. It's pretty noisy in here. The music's not overly loud. This is heat 3 in the pool. Low time lane 4, yes, 31.23 for Daniel. That's a 0.4 drop. Did I read the wrong names? No, here we go, heat 4. Ideally, I'd like to read the names before they enter the pool, but moving so quick here. In the pool, Jackson, Frederick, Henry, James, Okresh, and Sebastian. This is 4 in the pool. Lane 3 goes low. Walker, first name Henry, 30.70, dropping 0.4 off of 30.78. He goes 30.36. Here we are, heat 5. Evan, Callan, Jack, Eric, Ethan, Enrico. If you are just joining us, all the information is in Meet Mobile, so you can go, you can search. You want to look up 2026 Say Deep Freeze, and then you can search based on swimmers, and you'll see which particular event, which lane. I try and help you out up on the top right. If you don't have the inkling to go to Meet Mobile, you can just reference that data, but you're only getting it right before they swim. Lane 3, Jack goes sub 30. Nice job, Jack, 29.10. That was heat 5. Here's heat 6. Saw another 29.25 up there for lane 2. That was Callan. Callan O'Neill also goes sub 30. Great swim, guys. More music, more giveaways. So in the pool is 6. Jack, Alex, Matthew, Ian, Luca, and Lars. Low time there, lane 3, 28.60. Matthew, nice job, dropping off at 29.37. Marcus, Josh, Liam, Tommy, no, yes, that's right. Tommy's in 4, 5 Rays, and Jorge up in 6. Seven in the pool, names for 8, top right. If you do miss anything, you always can rewind, and you can actually slow it down, do playback on at half speed if you wanted to really absorb everything. Lane 3 looks to go low, and he does. 27.10 for Liam. That's dropping off at 27.34. Final heat, heat 8. Leon, Perez, Jack, Miles, Charlie, and David. Up next, those names you'll see on the top right is MB 200 back for the girls. Final heat here, heat 8 of 8. We'll catch our breath right as this race finishes, kind of slow it down a little bit. Lane 3, awesome swim there, Jack, 24.61. Jack came in 24.18. So, folks, let's look. Jack is a 13-year-old boys. State time, 25.29. He's more than a second under state cut there. with his 24-18 seed, and he just went 24-61. Way to back it up, Jack. 26-6. Improving that last race, Leon Lee, 26-89. David Lamb right on it, 26-26. Yep, everybody else was right on it. Nice swim, guys. This is heat 1 of 7, 200-yard backstroke. Sydney, Emma, Isabel, Peyton, Penelope, Kaylee. .200 back, 8 lengths of the pool. So I was referring to state cut time. So at the end of the year, there are different meets that have, basically you need to swim faster in a certain time to be allowed in, invited, however you want to term it. So that particular YMCA New Jersey state time was what I was referring to. There was also a silver time, so it's a separate meet where your time is just, off the state cut, but you have, a decent time, and then that's a different meet. So that's known as the silvers. And then for certain things, there are also bronzes. All right, so that's a third level of time qualification. We're going to be at the 100 here. Pardon me as I yawn. This is Isabel Bloomer, first to turn. Take a look at the far end lead swimmer there is Isabel. And I want to point out all the teammates there up on the deck cheering them on. All right, this will be 150 yards complete for Isabel here. I'm going to take you a wide camera here. You'll see from the start. All right, 11-12 girls, 200 back. State cut 239, silver 259. And then for 13-14 girls, here's our lead swimmer. 200 back, 221, 227 are the different cuts. So I don't know, I just said it and I just forgot it. 200 back, 239 or better. That is, ladies and gentlemen, that is a state cut there for Isabel. As a 12-year-old, state 239. Nice job. That was heat 1 of 7. All right, unofficial because I don't want to get ahead of ourselves if there was potentially a DQ or something, but unofficially, nice swim there. 231, Isabel. Came in on a 255.37. This is heat 2. Molly, Anya, Olivia, Hannah, Emma, Lana, and Ella up in 6. Any parents out there watching and you get a text from son, daughter, niece, nephew, it says, hey, got a state cut, and you feel confident you want to share that back, I'll give it a shout out on the air. I just, just cautious about calling it, not knowing if there was potentially any DQs or anything else. So, and I always joke, it's a great accomplishment to the kids, for the parents. Block out the weekend, book some hotels, book some travel. So it's an awesome experience, though. This is heat 2 of 7. Ladies are at 75 yards, that side of the pool. That is lanes 2 and 3 turning there. Lane 2, Anya. Lane 3, Olivia. Be at 150 yards complete on this side. That is our lane 4 swimmer there, Hannah. Lane 1 here, Molly. Lane 5, Aniana, and we'll follow Ella into the wall. Ella Kim in 6. All right, lead group here, 2 and 3, making their way back to the finish. Came in 253, 251, nice drop. That's a 20-second drop for Anya. She came in 253.23, call it 19.7. Nice drop into the wall. Lane 5 will go wide. We'll see the finish here. Olivia came in 251.69. She goes 234.44. 16.7, 16, high 16s. Nice drop. Good swim, ladies. That was heat 2 of 7. Here's the names for heat 3. In the pool, Olivia, Amelia, Naz, Maria, Kate, and Lucy. All right, the music's on. This is our 50 turn. First to turn there is lane 4, Maria. 36.02 on that front 50. See Maria, the leftmost swimmer of those 4. Take a different perspective. So that's that far wall looking back to the start end. Here they come back to the start end. 114 cumulative there on the 100 for Maria. This is Maria here in 5. And then lane 3, sorry, that's Naz off to her side. Lucy up in 6, having a big second half here. We got 50 to go on this turn. We'll take it wide. You can see Lucy splitting 38.03 there. Look at that relative to the field. It's Lucy then a turn there. All right. So the lead 2 swimmers closer to you. Lane 4, Maria, off against the wall is Lucy. We're gonna come in for a finish here. Maria's gonna go low time in this heat. She came in 241.85, that's 10 plus. Lucy came in 248, she goes 233, that's 14.8. Nice drop, Lucy. That was heat 3. Coming up, Daniela, Lyndon, Nicole, Melanie, Miyaka, and Rosalie. Here is their lane assignments. Heat 4 about to go. Names for 5, top right. All right, the ladies turning at the 25 at that far end. It's a 50 turn here. All right, again, we'll go to this camera. So they're swimming away from us from that far end. You know, it just gives us a different perspective. Let's just see the faces a little bit. And here they are at the start end at the 100 turn. Ladies at 125. Lead swimmer in 2, that is Lyndon. We'll be at 150 here, 2 lengths to go. Lyndon there splitting a 37 flat. Lyndon came in 239. We're going sub 230 by a bunch. Nice 228.11. 11-year-old, 200 back. Nice swim, Lyndon. Again, 200 back, 239.99. 239.99 is the stake cut. All right, we just heard a screaming. Sounded like that. Excitement there from the parent. Heat 5. Valeria, Morgan, Hannah, Josie, Riley, and Ellie are the swimmers in the pool. Heat 5 of 7. That's 75 yards complete, that end of the pool. First to turn there is Valeria in 1. That's a 100-yard split we see on the board there, 112.30. Again, this is heat 5 of 7 in the pool. Names for 6, top right. Lane 1, Valeria's turned. We'll be at 150 on the left wall. Up there in lane 4 is Josie. Josie splits a 35.97. Huge. All right. Again, they're not racing each other first or second place. They're racing to improve their times. All right, Josie in 4, Valeria in 1. Josie goes 2:26 flat, Valeria 2:27.7. 2:26 Josie. Josie came in 2:35.60, so that's 9.6. Valeria swam at 2:27.7. She came in 2:36.85, also about a 9. Awesome job, ladies. This is 6 of 7. Julia, Regan, Sasha, Olivia, Elisa, and Catherine. Underway. All right, 6 of 7 in the pool. Names for 7, top right. Oh, yeah. A couple 11-year-olds in here, 200 back, 11-year-old state time. I got to keep rereading it. 2:39.99 for the older girls, 200 back, 2:21.29. I say older, it's 13, 14, sorry. Yeah, I mentioned this earlier, though. So the age group of the meet today is 11 through 13, but the breakout for the Y times is 11 and 12-year-olds is one group, 13 and 14 a separate group. And the reasoning today, 11 through 13, is they look at the number of swimmers in each age group and basically need to separate them out between the 11 to 18-year-olds, and that's the way it works out. Sometimes for parents, depending on the age of the kids, sometimes it's better, sometimes it's worse. All right, this is lane 3, Sasha. First to turn at the 125. We'll see them swimming away from us here. And a little peek into the coach's pad there, checking everything. Come back to the start, 150. All right, Sasha in lane 3. Lane 2 swimmer is Regan. Lane 4, flanking her on the far side, is Olivia. All right, here are the ladies turning at that far wall. Coming for home, final 25. Sasha came in 2:26.88. Nice drop off that at 2:00, 2:20.93. Big drop. And again, 11, 12-year-old girls, 200 back, state time 2:39. We are under that. 7 of 7. Michaela, Isabella, Anastasia, Amelia, Sonia, and Sophia. Everybody's name, first name ends with an A. Oh. All right, so you see bottom left of your screen, are using the backstroke wedges. They're just a little twisted. All right. So those wedges allow the swimmer to get their toes on the top of it. So as you're pushing off, you have a firm grip to push up and out. All right. Michaela seems set. We're off. All right, Michaela, Isabella, Anastasia, 1, 2, 3. Amelia, Sonia, and Sophia, 4, 5, 6. This is the final heat. Nice start there for Michaela in 1. You're always concerned, those little things at the start, do they rattle the swimmer? Way to handle it there, Michaela. First 50 out strong. Again, this is final heat. We're at 75 yards complete. This will be the 100 turn. Low split there, Michaela, 106.6. We're at 125. Lane 1, lane 6, 142.47, 142.95. Low split there though, lane 2, 34.85. Final turn. Keep an eye, lane 6 looks to go low, 2:16.64. 2:19 there for Michaela. Awesome swim on the outside. So lane 6, this is going to be a lot to get through. Sophia came in 2:23.9. No, wait. Oh, they changed the names already. 2:16.64 for Sophia up in 6. She came in 2:23.96. Michaela in 1 came in 2:23.79, goes 2:19. I think that's under that state 2:21. Low time was lane 6. Lane 2 went 2:17. That was Isabella dropping off at 2:21. A lot to unpack here, folks. 2:24, 2:21, lane 5. And Sonia in 5 swam at 2:21.31, dropping off at 2:22.50. So thanks. There was a little pause there. I think our outside lanes, awesome swim. All right. So any parents out there that want to confirm that, I think we're in state territory. 200 back, awesome. All right, I don't know why the pause, but I'm happy for it. I had to catch my breath. Real quick, as a commentator, a few times you covered things. A couple weeks ago, I covered Ree at the Madison meet. He went sub 440 in a 500 free. Kind of never forget that. And then a couple years ago, I covered Sarah Rodriguez from Wayne area. She went 152 in a 200 back, folks. To see that in person and cover it, you kind of jaw drop. So it's kind of the things that stick with you. Here we are, heat 1 of 4, William, Noah, Anthony, and Sid. Again, this is event 34, 200 back. Jeremiah Ree, that's the name that's escaping me. He went sub 440 in a 500 free, kind of on a Sunday, just at a meet. So, pretty cool stuff. And similar there, you gotta give a shout out there. Michaela Zena there had the little, start with the backstroke wedge. And as a 13-year-old, you hope nothing rattles them. And she was a trooper, came home with a great time. All right, let's back on course. Mike William, Noah, Anthony, and Sid. Heat 1 of 4. Let me update the names for Heat 2. All right, lead group right side of the pool here. That is lane 3, Noah, followed by Anthony, and then closest to us, is William. Coming into your frame, that is lane 5, Sid. We're going to swing back to the start end. Lead swimmer in 3 is already turned. 4 has turned. 2's coming into your frame here. I believe lane 3 finishing, yes, 2:37.96. That's a the math on that's a little hard. He came in on a 3:12, so call it 34 seconds. And I joked yesterday, soon enough, this is going to be all AI that's going to tell you the difference. But right now, I'm doing math in my head a little slow with that amount of space. Great swim there. Noah, Anthony, and William. William swam a 2:58. He came in 3:24. Anthony swam a 2:45. He had a 3:20 flat. Might have been a fabricated time, but still awesome improvement. And here comes Sid under the flag. Sid came in on a 3:40. He's dropping 10. Awesome job, guys. Heat 1 of 4. Way to set the tone for the upcoming races here. Heat 2, Joseph, Jackson, Daniel, Jack, Andrew, and Jace. Two in the pool, names for 3, top right. If you're wondering, the order of events are on the bottom right of your screen. We're on event 34 now. You'll see that'll cycle through. We have music going, hot heat. I think there'll be a giveaway. Trying to see. Not seeing one of the volunteers walking around with the basket or anything. So folks, we're back with one more session later tonight, and at the beginning of that will be recognition for the Summit Area Y seniors. So actually I should, real quick, as we have a second before I forget, right here on the wall, there's a look at the seniors. LJ, Megan, Ava, Sarah, and Declan. All right. small group, but very talented group. If you go back and you take a look between Summit, New Providence high schools, and where's everybody? I think, is that everybody? If you look at the kind of results from the Union County Championship and so on, you would see those names splattered all around, bringing in big points. All right, we're at 150, 2 lengths to go. All right, the field's pretty split up. We're going to go to this wide view here. All right, you see our swimmers, lanes 1, 2, and 6 turning. I believe lane 3, Daniel coming back, should be finishing. Good indication if you see the timers leaning forward. Yep. Nice 2:33 for Daniel. Came in on a 2:46.66. And if you're not familiar, if you haven't done timing before, as you see those volunteers behind, they lean forward. Their job is to look down the face of the wall and just stop the watch as soon as they see any part of the body hitting the wall. So as you see, the gentleman in the yellow shirt chooses to go wide and look. The lady is looking straight down. Nice job. Shout out to those volunteers. And then you'll see that the gentleman has a clipboard bottom left. And he's writing down his time, and he's writing down the time of the lady there in the white and black shirt. So you basically, when they finish, you're going to get those 2 hand times. They're known as hand times off the stopwatch. The time when the swimmer touches the wall. This is heat 3 about to go. And then the person without the clipboard has what's known as a plunger, which the lady has it in her right hand. When we go back, we can look for it. And then that ties into the timing system. So there's 4 times, 2 on the paper and then 2 electronically, which give a good way of getting an official time for a swimmer. All right, so as we go back to the start, if you see the lady in her left hand, she has her hands crossed, but she has like a Jeopardy plunger in her left hand. That's tied into the timing system with that cord, and she pushes that at the finish. So you need to be a little coordinated. Stopwatch in one hand, plunger in the other. All right, if anybody's paying attention out there and you have the chat open, anybody want to let me know what finger you should use for the stopwatch and why? Don't have prizes to give away, but we can give you a on-air recognition if somebody wants to post that in the chat. All right, lane 2 here. This is Henry, followed by lane 3 to the wall, Luke. Then we have lane 1, Benjamin. Then we had James Veltri in 4. Lane 5 is Ethan, and then we have Percy in 6. I missed somebody in there. Benjamin, Henry, Luke, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6 is James, Ethan, and Percy. Lane 2's turning there. That's Henry, our lead swimmer. Splitting a 33. Awesome, Henry. Here comes lane 3, Luke. Then we have 1 and 4, Benjamin, James Veltri. Lane 6, Percy. And then Ethan in 5. All right. So lead swimmer here, lane 2, is making his way back already. This is Henry, came in 2:42.23. Hello. 2:13. That's almost 30 seconds. Here comes lane 3, Luke. Luke goes 2:26. James next to the wall, 2:33.50. Oh, lane 1 gets a touch in there. Sorry, I missed you there. Benjamin, 2:32. The low time, Lane 2, 2:13. Henry came in 2:42. That's 29, 28 seconds. All right, we'll get the names updated here for the next heat. They just refreshed. Joey, Sawyer, Alex, Jaden, Willie, and Jack. This is final heat, heat 4. Then we're moving on to 100 freestyle. Feels like we just swam the 50 free. All right, nobody's taking me up on my trivia question for the which finger to use when you're using the stopwatch and why. All right, here we are, heat 4 at that far end. That is lane 3, flanked by 2 closest to us, and 4, Alex Wang in 3, Sawyer in 2, Jaden in 4. That is 100 split here. Followed by 5, 1, 6. That's Willie, Joey, and Jack. All right, lead group already turning at the far end. 125. We'll be at 150 here. Alex continues to lead. All right, on the boys, 13-year-old 200 back, state time 2:17. Alex came in under that with a 2:10. So under it by a country mile. Silver time 2:29 for the 13-14 boys, and he's improving on that, 2:08.67. Alex, awesome swim. 2:14 for Jaden, dropping off his 2:17, and a 2:15 there for Sawyer, dropping off his 2:18. Great swim, guys. 2:25, 4-second improvement for Joey, 5-second improvement for Jack, and 6. Way to go, guys. 100 free for the ladies, heat 1 of 12. We'll get late logos in a second. Myra, Eloise, Chloe, and Danielle. Thank you, Tom McMahon. You're the winner, index finger. I don't know if it's better reaction time. What I was told was less fat. So I might be wrong, but that's what I was told at one point, and kind of one of those things that sticks with you. So all right, this is heat 1 of 12. For the 11 and 12-year-olds, we'll just throw out the state time, 1:04.99 or better for the 100 free. 13, 14-year-olds, 100 free, 57.99. Here we are into the finish. Load time's gonna go to lane 3. Eloise, 1:21.14, dropping almost 3 seconds. Call it 2.98. Lane 2 into the wall, 1:31.71. Myra right on her seat. 1:26, drop in time, lane 4, dropping almost 3 seconds. That was Chloe. I didn't update names. These names are just going to get refreshed right as I start. Oh. Hopefully I wasn't talking that loud. Underway. This is heat 2 of 12. I got to pick up my pace a little, get these names updated quicker. Ladies are already at the far end. We have Nina, Maya, Samantha, Lila, Ava, and Emer. Music's on. Hot Heat giving away prizes. Still looking. I don't know what the giveaway is. In the summer, they're ducks. I don't know if rubber ducks are appropriate for 9-degree weather. The ladies will be at 75 on the right-hand wall. That is our lane 4. Lila, first to turn. Here they are coming into the wall. Looks like Lila's going low, and she does. 115.14, dropping 3+ off a 118.99. That's a 3.7. 3.8? Yeah, 3.8. It's basically 19, so nice swim. That was heat 2. Here's 3. Underway. In the pool, Piper, Penelope, Gina, Kalyani, Cecilia, and Emily. Names on the top right are the Heat 4 swimmers. Ladies turning at the 50 here. Lane 3, first to turn. That's Gina. All right, ladies coming under the flags into the wall. Yes, 112.20 for Piper. That's a 4.7 drop off of 116.96. Nice job, Piper. Strong swim. Next heat. In the pool, heat 4, Anna Eloise, Matilda, Yasmin, Amalana, and Elizabeth. Sorry, already a little slow here, switching up. Names for 5 already updated. Look like lane 6, Elizabeth, first to turn. Lanes 4, 5, and 6, leading them out. We'll take a look over there when they're this far away. Looks like lane 6 outside smoke going low. 112.62 for Elizabeth. Almost 3 seconds off of 115.45. Good stuff, good stuff. Heat 5. Ella, Esme, JC, Emma, Cars, Alexandra. And I apologize, lane 5, Carrie, C-A-R-Y-S. Is it Carries? I apologize, I've been saying Cars. Somebody could help me out in the chat. Lane 3, JC. Turning at 75. How about that? It was like 6 strokes, no breath at the end. Awesome. Got to go back. Somebody go back and watch that. I think from, I don't know, mid-pool? Buried her head, swam it home, 105.33. That's 5 plus off of 110.61. I know somebody needs to go watch that for me. I cracked myself up. Go. I should put a. I didn't save it. All right, here we are, Heat 6. I need to update names for you folks. I was trying to save a bookmark there. 6 is in the pool. So actually what you can do, and you know, I mentioned this yesterday, YouTube has the Gemini artificial intelligence. So tomorrow I can go back and search on words. So if I search, you know, no breath or bury her head, probably I'll find it because I've been playing with it. It searches on names and so on. We're going to take a look as I'm talking too much. Lane 6. This is Sophie Lynch. Got to give a little ISO here as she comes into the finish. 105.19, dropping almost 5 off of 110.15. Great swim, Sophie. Sorry, everybody else in the field, just everybody else 107. Great swim across the board. Everybody dropping time, but just had to highlight that. Seven in the pool, names for 8, top right. The girls are swimming so fast in this 100, it feels harder than that 50. Ellie, Caroline, Alexandra, Lisa, Rosalie, and Naz are your swimmers. First to turn is lane 4, Lisa, 30.01. Lisa ready at the far end here. All right, we'll come here, we'll go wide. We'll take Lisa to the finish and then go wide. Awesome swim. 101.55. 13-year-old. That's an awesome swim. Here we go with Heat 8. She came in on a 106.68. It's 5 plus. Eighth in the pool, names for 9, top right. Gabriella, Claire, Molly, Daniela, Lily, Deanna. Look at those times, 30, mid-30s to mid-31s. See, we're at the wall at 75. That's lanes 3 and 4, Molly and Daniela. This is going to be the closest race we've had all weekend, folks. This is Heat 8. Tight in the middle of the pool. Looks like lane 3 goes low. She does. 103.17 for Molly. That's almost 2 seconds off of 105.11. Lane 4 went 103.50. That's all 1 3/4, 105.14 was her seed. In the pool, Heat 9. Mayaka, Addie, Jenny, Ella, Sophia, and Nicole. Low split 30.05. Lane 1, Miyaka. They're at 75. Final turn, bringing it home. Keep an eye on lane 4. Ella goes low, 102.76. 32.10 coming home. Dropping off a 103.99, that's a 1.2. Here we are with Heat 10 of 12. Charlotte, Harper, Katie, Annabella, Yutso, and Libby. Looks like Kate Keeler at the 50, 28.9. We're at 75. Kate continues to lead. Lane 2 being a big push here from Harper. Looks like Kate's gonna hold her off. Kate goes low, 100.16. That's almost 2 second drop off of 102.14, 1.98 for Kate. Awesome swim. Here we are, Heat 11. Names for 12, top right. We in the pool, Katie, Vivian, Regan, Alexandra, Sophia, and Sarah. Nobody's sub 1 here. A couple ladies knocking on the door. They're going out in 29s. As you can see, the next heat, a lot of sub 1s except for Olivia. Pulling for you, Olivia. Here we are into the finish. Gonna be tight, maybe late. No, 100.27 for Sophia. That's a 1.5 second drop, just knocking on that 100 door. It's coming, it's coming. Here we are, final heat, as you see. A lot of sub 1s. This is the last heat for the ladies. Names on the top right of the first heat for the boys. Olivia Alexandra Quinn, Amelia Stella, and Olivia Babo. Lane 3, Quinn out fast. 27.3 on the front half. Quinn came in 56.59. All right, here are the ladies coming at us. Again, Quinn came in 56.59. We're better. Nice, 0.3. Good stuff. And Olivia, lane 6, goes sub 1. She came in 1:00.20. She goes 59.40. Congratulations. This is heat 1 of 7 for the boys. Nice job, ladies. Big swims there. Quinn dropping time already on an awesome 56.59. Olivia going sub 1 in the previous race. Music's on. Braden, Logan, Ian, William, or Leo getting a gift. I need to find somebody to do me a favor and watch what the gift is. If they do it right then, I don't know if they are or not. All right, low time there. Lane 3, that's Ian. He came in 1:17.18. He goes 1:13.67. That was heat 1 of 7. Oh, I was on the, did I not? What happened, folks? I was on the wrong camera. Pardon me. Oh, it is. Okay. All right, so they are given like winter hats, I think. All right. This is heat 2. Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, they just gave that boy in lane 3 a beanie.
Okay. All right, got it. Thank you. All right, so since this is deep freeze, I think they're giving hats, so staying warm. All right, we're turning here. This is heat 2 in the pool. Joseph, Jackson, Joel, Bruno, Harrison, and Viam. All right, so it is 1:06 real time. This event was supposed to start at 1:01, so we're pretty close to being on time. Names are updated top right for the next race. Uh, 2:50. Approximately last race, maybe 2:50 p.m. So do we have like almost 2 more hours of this session? That's an approximate. Low time there. Lane 3 goes to Joel, dropping about a second. All right, here it is, heat 3. This isn't right. That's heat 2 name. Sorry, folks. It's going to be real close to getting refreshed. All right. For some reason, the update software is Maybe it's me running slow. I think the software is running slow, though. All right, in the pool is Heat 3. Names for 4 is updated top right. Thomas, Alex, Enrico, Nikita, Alex, Sebastian. Alex Sebastian is in 5. And then Sebastian Kowalski is in 6. All right, into the finish here. Low time's gonna go to lane 5, 107.55. That's Alex. That's almost 6 seconds, like 5 3/4 off an 111.42. Good stuff. Here we are, Heat 4. And again, I might be overlooking some swims with big drops. I'm trying to catch up here. My fingers are not moving as fast as these swimmers are. In the pool is Heat 4, Daniel, Ukarash, Henry, Owen, William, and Evan. Names on the top right are updated with your Heat 5 swimmers. We're tight here. Lane 1, lane 3. That's Daniel and Henry. Wow, close one. Lane 4 comes in. Owen, came in 108.88, goes 106.73. That's 2 plus. All right, this is Heat 5. Music's on, somebody's getting a hat or other gifts. Percy, Lars, Henry, Callan, Eric, and James. All right, for the guys, I didn't read it, the 11, 12, 100 free. 104.09 is your state time. 13, 14-year-old, 100 free, 54.59. It's crazy. I have 11, 12-year-olds knocking on the door, though, that 11, 12 time. Again, 100 free, 104.09. Henry here came in 105.63. We're breaking 103, 102.65. Henry Peck, awesome swim. That's just fabulous. And good sportsmanship, shaking hands there with lane 4. This is Heat 6 of 7. James Veltri, Rise, Tommy, Benjamin, Jorge, and Matthew. This is 6 of 7. That is our lane 3 swimmer, Tommy Dubeck, first to turn. Goes out 28.78. Tommy came in 101.51. See Tommy into the wall, 58.59, right off a minute, 1:00.96. Nice drop, though. Good stuff. 1:03 flat up on the top for Matthew, dropping 1.8. 104. This is final heat 7 of 7. As you see, middle of the pool, some 5s in those seed times, 50s, 5s. Hopefully you knew what I meant. Sub-minute, that's what I meant. Up next, gonna be 200 breaststroke for the girls. Those names you see top right. In the pool, Poraz, Charlie, Talon, Ethan, David, and Liam. That is lane 3. Talon came in 54.4. He just went out 25.6. $37, $38, $39, $40. Again, he came in 54.4. We're breaking that. Shattering it. Talon, awesome. Dropping a second on an awesome 54.4 down to 53.3. Awesome, 59. Dropping on the outside, Liam in 6. Came in 1:00.97, goes 1:00.13. Liam, I see that sub 1 in your future. Nice swim, guys. Here we are, 200 breaststroke, heat 1 of 5. In the pool. Nope, it's not 1 of 5, it's 1 of 7. I had a funny page break somewhere, and all of a sudden it jumped to the next. There'll be 5 heats for the boys after this. That's why I got that number from. All right, 7 heats in the pool. Emily, Vivian, and Esme. 200-yard breaststroke, 8 lengths. Names for heat 2, top right of your screen. All right, I apologize. I reverted to the Google machine. So next heat, lane 1, I've been saying cars. Google's telling me rhymes with Paris, so Caris. I apologize, I've been mispronouncing that. I will try and say it properly going forward. All right, well, lead swimmer there in lane 3 has turned. That's Vivian. Coming into the wall is Emily and Esme. Emily in 2, Esme in 4. All right, making our way back. We're kind of sorry, I've been a little. This is Vivian in 3. Vivian goes 3:06.68. That's a huge drop off of 3:32. It's 26 seconds, folks. Emily and Esme both had, well, Emily had 336, Esme 332. We're dropping bunches on that too. Nice job, ladies. Way to kick it off. Heat 1 of 7. Here we are. All right, now we're updated here with the names. Lane 1 is Karis, Lucy, Yasmin, Melanie, and Anya. This is Heat 2 of 7. Heat 3, top right. All right, ladies at the 50. First to turn up there, lane 5, Anya. And then catch the ladies off coming off the wall here. And Karis in lane 1. Catch him coming back at us. Oh, Mr. Moretti up there in lane 5. Anya turning already. All right, we're at 150 here. All right, lead swimmer in 5, top right of your screen. We'll catch her ears coming back. This is Anya. Lane 2, big second half push. That is Lucy. All right, Anya's going low time here. She goes 2:55. Lucy goes 2:56. Anya came in 3:26. Lucy came in 3:20. So that's 25, close to 30-second drops there. Lane 4 into the wall. Melanie dropping 12. 3:16 there in lane 3, dropping 2 seconds. And Karis came in on a 3:30. She goes 3:20. That's a nice 10-second improvement. Here we are, next heat, Heat 3. Gina, JC, Josie, Libby, Lily, and Ava are your swimmers here in Heat 3. Ladies turning at the 50. Josie in 3, first to turn. And we'll catch them coming at us from this back corner. And then into that turn on the far end. We're at the 100 turn here. That is lane 3, lane 5. Lane 3 is Josie. Lane 5, Lily Grupo. I don't know if that's too confusing there with that other camera angle kind of looking back. The previous one I had, I'll jump to it too. So this is them now going away. So I'll have to rewatch it. And if anybody has feedback on that, please put it in the chat or email us. Just a different perspective, and sometimes can be confusing to the eye as you're watching it, not knowing. Obviously, I know what camera I'm switching to, so I know the perspective, but as a viewer, I'd love to get feedback. Again, I think it's good for certain reasons, like to see faces and so on, but sometimes it might be confusing versus just staying on the side camera. And I'll just kind of a personal, I don't do a camera at the end, looking down or looking over the start, because I always find that that's really confusing. All right, getting noisy in here, folks. Here we come into the finish. We'll see them under the flags. Lane 5 looks to be going low. That's Lily. She came in 3:14.66. That's almost 12-second drop for Lily. Second to the wall, Josie in 3. She came in 3:10, goes 3:05. So it's 5.25 for Josie. Big drops there. 3:15 right on your time there, Gina. This is our Heat 4. Ellie, Elisa, Amelia, Valeria, Sasha, and Milana. So just in perspective, my traditional is just that start camera, the middle camera, and then the turn camera. So and then always the fallback is what we refer to as the moon camera, which was just one camera, whole pool. You know, if you're watching this on an 80-inch screen, maybe this is useful. I don't know how pixelated it is. I don't have an 80-inch screen, but that is a different perspective and something that is a lot easier to do, but takes away, obviously, from viewing experience. In the pool, this is Heat 4. We're at 75 yards on the right-hand wall here. Lane 5, big push here. That is Sasha. She's turning at 1:20.96, split of 42 on that second 50. So she's ready off the screen there in that view. I was a little too late on that trigger. All right, we'll pick up Sasha here coming out of her underwater. All right, we'll get her turn and then we'll kind of pick up the field. We got 50 to go here. You see that great underwater out to the flags. All right, swing down to the far end. Lead swimmer there in 5, Sasha. She came in 3:06.88. We're swimming for home here. All right, we'll get Sasha. She's under the flags. She's going. Huge drop, 2:48.91. as an 11-year-old. She came in 3:06. That's 11, 17, high 17s. Great swim there. Remember that number there, 2:48.91. 11-year-old, 200 breast. State time, 3:01.99. And folks, she just went 2:48. This is Heat 5. All right, in the pool for 5, Molly, Gabriella, Hannah, Lyndon, Kaylee, and Hannah Wong. Hannah Silk is our lane 3. Music's on, somebody's getting a gift. All right, real quick. That's Sasha getting congratulations from teammates. Sorry, taking it away from the race in the pool. Just like to share good camaraderie among the teammates. And coaches with knuckles. Nice job. All right, the music's on. Somebody's getting a gift. Heat 5. Who's it going to be? Molly, Gabriella, Hannah. 1, 2, 3. Lyndon, Kaylee, or Hannah Wong. 4, 5, 6. Top of your screen. Hannah Wong, 6. First. Nope. Lane 2, lane 6. Almost even. Almost even. So much almost that they both 124.23. All right, that was our 100. Ladies are at 125 here. All right, all 11, 12-year-olds in this heat. 200 breast, 11, 12. State time, 3:01.99. Silver, 3:15.99. Ladies are at 150 here. 209, 210, splitting a 45. So math is favorable. See if the ladies can hold on here. All right, lane 2, lane 6, lane 4. Gabriella in 2. She came in 3:00.88. Hannah Wong, 3:04.60 was her seed time. Ladies are coming under the flags. We're looking sub 3. Nice job, ladies. 2:53 for Gabriella. 2:56 for Hannah, and then in between, 2:56.01. Lane 4 for Lyndon. Lyndon came in 2:59. She's dropping on that to 2:56.01. So a mid 2:59 down to a low 2:56. Awesome swim. Nice job, ladies. All 11, 12-year-olds that previous heat. I had the wrong camera on, that's why it looked funny. It should look like this. All right. Again, I don't know if anybody uses these to make videos. I've seen a few floating out there. If you have the need for a video of a swim and you want a little help with that, please reach out. You can email us, email me, commonguysportsnj@gmail.com. Again, one big word, commonguysportsnj@gmail.com. More than happy to assist any way we can for the kids. This is Heat 6. Alexa, Alexandra, Gianna, Dabney, Sophie, and Morgan. Names are updated on top right for the Heat 7 final heat. Ladies making their way back. This will be a 100 turn on the left-hand side. So I read you the time for 11-12 girls for state. 13-14 girls, 200 breast is 244.19, silver 255. Ladies are at 125 on the right-hand wall. That is lane 3, followed by 4, Gianna, and then Dabney, a couple 12-year-olds. Try and get them under the flags here. We got one more 50 to swim. All right, the ladies have 25 on that far wall. We'll catch them as they pop up. They're underwater right now. All right, lane 3 close to us, Gianna. Lane 4, Dabney. Gianna came in 244, Dabney 249. Looks like Dabney's dropping a little. She is 245.81. Gianna right on her seed. Again, Dabney came in 249.10. She goes 245.81. Nice job on the outside, 259. It's right on, 257. Everybody else right on the seats. All right, final heat. Gianna and Dabney, nice swim there. This is final heat. Then we have 5 heats for the boys. It's our lane 4 swimmer, Sofia Suarez, first to turn, 34.4. I guess I didn't read these names. So we have Sofia Segulo in 1, Quinn in 2, Isabella in 3, Sofia Suarez in 4, Sarah Sang in 5, Maura Coughlin up in 6. This is our 100 turn. All right, we'll try and pick them up coming back at us. All right, we'll be at 150 left-hand wall. Isabella in 3, slight lead over Sofia in 4. It's lane 6 turning and then lane 1. All right, all the way ready at the far wall. This will be the final wall, final turn. Pick them up underwater. Isabella in 3, a little closer to us, Sofia Suarez off her right shoulder. Isabella right on her seed. Nice swim, ladies. Sofia 2:30, 5 right on her seed. Quinn goes 237. There's a drop off of 241.33. That's 4 plus. Quinn, nice swim up there in lane 2. Right, 244. I don't know if I overlooked anybody else. Everybody was kind of right on their seed, and Quinn, nice 4-second drop there. Some impressive times coming in. Again, 233, 234 in the middle of the pool. All right, this is event 38. The boys 200 breaststroke, heat 1 of 5. Eric, Luke, and Ethan. This was supposed to start at 1:34. It is 1:39, so we're on schedule, roughly. And again, the final race slated to go off at 2:50 p.m., so about another hour and 10 minutes worth of racing. Glad you could join us today. This is Mike, Comic Guy Sports. I think all those freestyles before kind of took a little energy out of the crowd. Very quiet here. Maybe it's just that lull between the week between Super Bowl or something. If you're not aware, a very exciting event tonight in Tampa, Florida. They're playing an outdoor ice hockey game in Tampa. So a lot of people joked and said, yeah, there's cold weather that's kind of coming over the country. Was all the hockey people praying for it, and they got their wish. Ironically, on New Year's Day, they played in Miami, and it was warm. And now they're playing up in Tampa, where it's going to be cold. So, well, not ironic, but you would expect Miami to be warmer. But all right, here we are at 150. That's Luke turning, followed by Eric in 2, and then Ethan in 4. So I think that's 7 or 7:30 tonight on ESPN. Playing at Raymond James Stadium. I don't think they're going to break any records based on attendance, but still playing in a football stadium is a pretty exciting thing. All right, the guys turning for home here. Low time goes to lane 3. Luke dropping almost 20, 18, high 18s off a 326.88 seed. He goes 307. Great job. Here we are with heat 2. In the pool, lane 1 is Anton. Then we have Benjamin, William, Marcus, Vaughn in 5, Daniel in 6. That's Benjamin in 2. First to turn there, 40.81 on the front 50. Talk about a cheering crowd. Look at behind lane 2 there for Benjamin. 8 to 10 people there. Must be working. Here he is at the 100. Followed by Marcus in 4, then William in 3. Got to give a little airtime to the supporting crew. What do we got? We got the stuffed animal shark out there too. All right, Benjamin making his way back. We'll stay here for a second, then we got to swing all the way to the start end for Benjamin. Benjamin turning at the 150. Came in 3:20, so he's a minute and 6 under that, splitting a 47. So we could do some math if he holds that 47, how much improvement there will be. Let's go back to the cheering section. Well, I don't know why focus lost. But. All right, here comes, that's your second place running order there in lane 4, turning, that is Marcus. Here's William in 3, coming into your picture up there in 6. That is Daniel Lawler. 1 is Anton. Here we come into the finish. Big push here, lane 4, Marcus. All right, so Benjamin goes low, dropping off a 3:20 to a 3:01:33. Lane 4, 3:08:25 for Marcus. That's a 10-second plus improvement. And then William Crawford, 3:18. He's dropping 4. Nice job, guys. Lane 1, 3:24 for Anton, right on his seed. 3:18. That's an 8-second up there for Daniel in 6. Don't think I called that one out. Nice. That was heat 2. Here we go with heat 3. Heat 3 of 5. Names for 4. Little Journey playing on the radio. It's a small town girl. I don't know if Blaze is going to break out in the song. Might just be the parents. I don't know if the kids know it. I don't know if you can hear it. I'll turn it up a little. All right, if I blew out anybody's speakers, sorry. In the pool with heat 3, Alex, Jack, Daniel, Jack Rosler, Noah, and Owen. Lanes 2, 3, and 4 were shoulder to shoulder. Here are the boys at the 100, the halfway mark. We're even there, lanes 2, 3, and 4. We'll see as they pop up, making their way back. Left wall will be 150. All right, lanes 5 and 6 turning up there. We'll take a look up front with our lead group. Still shoulder to shoulder. All right, coming to the finish. Of course, I just said something about the crowd not into it. This woke everybody up. Looks on the touch lane, 259, 259.94. Two guys, sub 3. Nice job there, Jack and Daniel. Awesome job. Jack came in 3:14.48. Daniel came in 3:04. Awesome swim, guys. Big drops. Going sub 3 also. Here's our next heat 4 of 5. Must be the Journey song. I won't even get into if you're a Journey fan without Steve Perry, but there's only one correct answer to that. All right, this is heat 4 of 5. Anthony, Willie, Matthew, Ian, Henry, Rise. And I guess I should have done this earlier. I just Googled pronunciation of RHYS, and they're saying Reese. I apologize, I've been saying it wrong. So we have Karis and Reese. All right, we're at the 100 mark here for this heat 4. $125 on that far wall. Be at 150, 2 lengths to go. It's lane 3, lane 5. Lane 3 is Matthew, lane 5, Henry. All right, lead swimmers coming under the flags here into the finish. Again, lane 3, Matthew. Matthew came in 2:48.8. He goes 2:45.5. Nice 3.3. 2:49 up there for Henry Peck. He came in 3:00. That's 9 and change. Nice drop. That was heat 4. Here we go, heat 5. On deck's the 100 butterfly for the girls. You'll see those names top right of your screen. Final heat, heat 5 of 5. Henry, Sawyer, Talon, Alex, Leon, and Luca. All 13-year-olds here, so boys 13, 14, 200 breast. State time, 2:34.19. Couple of qualifiers already, 4 guys on the outside. This is the 50 turn. We'll take the 100 wall with them wide. That is lanes 3 and 4, pardon me. Leading out 3, Talon, 4, Alex. All right, they're ready on the wall, 125. $150 wall here for the boys. $175 final wall. Lane 3, Talon came in 226. Lane 4, Alex came in 229. We're both dropping. Nice swim. Alex goes low, 224.14. Oh, lane 1 coming home, 229. That's a huge drop. Henry Lorenzo came in on a seed of 245. He just went 229. That's 15 plus, like 15.4. 232, 5-second drop there for Sawyer in 2. 2-second drop for Talon, who came in with an awesome 226, goes 224. 248, 243. Leon Lee dropping a second. Nope, 1.4 previously in lane 5. Nice job. 100 butterfly for the ladies, heat 1 of 6. We got music coming on. All right, so the 100 fly here, 4 lengths. All right, I can't ID this song. In the pool, Emer, Sydney, Eloise, lanes 2, 3, and 4. We're at the 75-yard mark on the right-hand wall, turning for home. Closest to us is Sydney and Eloise to the wall first, 128. Dropping 9 off a 137. Nice job. And a 5+ drop for Sydney there in lane 3. Here comes Emer in 2. She came in 144.5. We're coming right on that. Nice job. That was heat 1 of 6. Here we are, heat 2 of 6. Lila, Gina, Peyton, Piper, Rhea, and Nor are your swimmers here in 2 of 6. That is the 50 turn. Ladies at 75. Low time there, lane 4 is going to Piper. Came in 129.76. Drops almost 6 seconds, 123.88. Way to bring it home. 127 down there for Noor. She came in 135. That's a 6, 7. Geez, almost 8. Second place in there was 126. 4-second drop for Gina. In the pool, heat 3. So this is event 39. Lost my place. We have the 200-yard IM after the boys' side of this 100 fly. Heat 3 of 6 here for the girls. That is our lane 4 swimmer, Lila. I didn't tell you who's in this race. Heat 3, lane 1, Aditi. 2 is Geet. 3, Anna. As I mentioned, 4 is Lila. Olivia's in 5 and Samantha in 6. This is lane 4, Lila bringing it home, followed by Anna in 3. 117 there. Dropping off a 120.24. Look at that. Nice. Thank you for the math. Oh, no, it was Anna. Wait. 117.97. Sorry, dropping down from a 120.24. I was confusing it with the 120. Oh, that's what it is. So lane 3 swam lane 4 seed time. That was just confusing in my brain. Just explaining what I'm looking at and why I couldn't talk. So that 120.24 on the scoreboard as I looked at the sheet with the seed times confused me. So that's what happened. This is Heat 4. Caroline, Addie, Sophia, Harper, Claire, and Lisa. The ladies are at the far end. 25 complete of the 100. And we're back at the start wall. Lane 3, lane 4. Lane 3 is Sophia. Lane 4, Harper. Lane 4 looks to go low. That is Harper. She does 110.44. She came in on a 113.06. It's 2.5. Nice job. Here we go with Heat 5 of 6. We have Molly, Anastasia, Barbara, Julia, Chloe, and Maisie, 1 through 6. Bottom to top in this alignment. even at the 50. Names for the final heater on the top right. Keep an eye on lane 6 up there. A little hard to tell. Maybe lane 2 on a great turn. We shouldn't have switched off that camera. We could have seen her coming off the wall. Big push here on the second half. We got to see what this split is for Anastasia, 36.02. Look at that relative to the field. That's where the time was made up. Nice swim, 109.10. That's a second and a half off a 110.71. Final heat for the ladies. In the pool, Isabella, Alexandra, Sophia, Kate, Annabella, Michaela. Lane 3 coming out. That is Sophia Suarez. Front half 29.39. All right, we'll see there's Sophia. There's your lane 3 swimmer. Yeah, so last time I jumped, I didn't catch who had that great turn, lane 2. That was Anastasia. I switched cameras too early. Now I learned my lesson. Into the wall. 102.69 for Sophia. That's over a 2-second drop. She came in 104.97. Awesome time coming in. And she goes 102.69 as a 13-year-old. Folks, for kicks, you should just go and page through some girls' high school swim meets for the 100 fly and just judge where that time would be. That's outstanding, 102.69. Great swim. Boys are in the pool. This is heat 1 of 4. Names for heat 2, top right. Now the guys have already turned. All right, I gotta apologize. I need to step out for a second, get something to drink. I'll be right back. All right, that was Jack first to the wall. We had a couple scratches there, only swimmers in lanes 1, 2, and 3. I had names in 4 and 5. I don't know if that was a reseed, no show. Hopefully my names are accurate. Hopefully these are accurate for our heat 2. Yeah, matches the board. All right, lane 1 empty this time. I don't know. And we got music. Somebody's getting a gift. All right, in the pool, heat 2 of 4. Joel, George, Jack, Ian, Andrew, and Daniel. And this is Heat 2 of 4. The names you see top right are the Heat 3 swimmers. Oh, sorry, I was a little slow. All right, into the wall. Looks like lane 3's going low. That's Jack. Nice job. All right, real quick. Look at this. We got a Veltri cap and a Veltri timer. Lefty, didn't know that, Johnny. All right, here we go. Next heat. We're underway. Open lane in the middle. In the pool for this Heat 3, Frederick, Henry, Tommy, Miles, Joey, and JV, James Veltri. That's lane 4, Miles out like a... I don't know what word to put in there, folks. Out like a rocket, that's what we can say. All right, we're at the 50 turn. He's turning 31.42. Miles came in on a 1:14.03. We'll see what he puts up on that second half. Awesome front half. All right, Miles is already at the wall. We'll stay here for a second. We'll catch the field turning. And, well, we'll go wide. We'll go this view here. I didn't even update names yet. I got to come home with Miles here again. He came in 1:14.03. He goes 1:08 flat. That's an awesome swim. Nice swim, Miles. All right, final heat coming up. Who else? 121, 119, 115. All right, final heat, heat 4. All right, more music, more giveaways. All right, heat 1 of 8 names you see on the top right of your screen. Up next for that IM, the 200-yard IM for the girls. That'll be the last event for the girls, but 8 heats. All right, lead swimmer here at lane 3. Alex Wang. Alex came in 1:00.83. Maybe going sub 1. We are. Nice job, Alex. 58.8. Awesome. Good job. Look at that. Came home 30.78. Awesome swim, Alex. Here we go, first heat for the ladies. 200 IM. Underway. Names for heat 2, top right, in the pool. Myra, Maya, Ava, Nina, and Eloise. All right, lane 6 is empty. Take a look up in lane 5, Eloise. Leading them out after the butterfly. We'll go back, breast. and freestyle of the remaining stroke order. Great steady heads. Nice job, ladies. This is Eloise in 5. Halfway done, 100 yards complete. She has breaststroke and freestyle to go. All right, we'll catch Eloise swimming at us, then we'll catch the 3 other ladies next to her. Right to left here is Maya, Ava, and Nina. All right, off to your left, you can see Eloise freestyle. We'll catch Myra here coming home. She'll have freestyle after she gets down to this left-hand wall. All right, Myra in 1, freestyle. She got down and back in freestyle. Up the top of your screen, Eloise coming home to finish. Eloise goes sub 3, 2:55. That's awesome. She came in on a 3:24. All right, here we are, lanes 2, 3, and 4. This is Maya, Ava, and then Nina coming under the flags. Nice job. For some reason, Eloise, we didn't get a clean touch and finish there, but they'll register that based on the stopwatch. That's why you just seeing it pop up now with that 1975 split. No harm there. The manual times will override. Maybe one of those backstrokes didn't get a clean touch. That was heat 1 of 8. Oh, pardon me. And Myra into the wall, 3:37. Dropping 3:30 for 12 seconds. Myra, nice improvement there. 3:37, good job. Oh, I didn't update names, folks. Those names were not correct. Give me 1 second and I'll pop them up. Those are the names of the swimmers in the pool. I apologize. But on the upside, music's on. Where it began. Da-na-na-na. Playing a little Neil Diamond. So Journey, Neil Diamond, and a couple songs I didn't understand what was, so. In the pool, heat 2, Penelope, Emma, Nor, Olivia, Samantha, and Kaylin. First to turn there, I believe, was lane 2, Emma. Yes, on a 37.9. We'll turn it up. Can't make it out. It is Sweet Caroline in the background. All right, here we are at the 100-yard second stroke done, going to breaststroke. Names for heat 3, top right. All right, we'll have freestyle to go on this left-hand wall. Lead swimmer there is Emma. No, yes, Emma. Heat 2, followed by 6 and 5. That's Kaylin and Samantha, 6 and 5 respectively. Unfortunately, there is no Caroline swimming here for Sweet Caroline. I'll turn down that in-house mic a little bit. All right, this is Emma under the flags. She'll come into the finish. Sub 3, nice job, Emma. She came in 3:02.52. She just dropped 10.5. It's 10.5, folks. Up top, 2:55 for Kaylin, dropping off a 3:07. That's like 12. So there was a high 3:07 to a mid 2:55. And a 3 or 4 second drop for Samantha Wang in 5. This is Heat 3. In the pool here for Heat 3, we have Sydney, Vivian, Geet, Sophie, Bailey, and Aditi. All right, this is 3 in the pool. The names for 4 updated top right. This is our lane 2 swimmer, Vivian. All right, running order here, lane 2, lane 4, so Vivian and Sophie Kim. Take it wide as they transition here. Freestyle to go. It's our lead swimmers halfway down the pool. We'll catch them turning shortly. Here they are turning lane 2, lane 4. We'll take it to the finish under the flags. Vivian first to the wall. She came in 2:56.18. Goes 2:43. That's 12 and change. Nice job. Lane 4, 2:45 for Sophie. That's about 8 and change there. Nice drop, ladies. That was Heat 3. Here we are, Heat 4. Four of 8 in the pool. Rosalie, Kaylee, Hannah, Deanna, Amelia, and Kate are your swimmers here. It is lane 4, Deanna, first to turn there after the butterfly. All right, we'll see her swimmers halfway through the backstroke. This is a look at 4, 5, and 6. We'll go wide. We'll see everybody else turning, moving to breaststroke. 100 yards complete. Oh, sorry, wrong buttons. All right, lane 4 continues to lead. That's Deanna, followed by 5, Amelia. And then lane 1, Rosalie. All right, we'll have freestyle to go after this turn. We'll go wide view here. We'll get everybody as they turn and then pick them up. All right, we'll see them all the way at the far end already. First, second, third there. Lane 4, lane 5, lane 1. Deanna, Amelia, and then Rosalie. All right, Deanna in 4, looks to go low. She does, 2:38.55. Yeah, I don't know, that didn't take the finish. Must have missed a touch somewhere in there. She came in on 2:50.16. Amelia came in 2:50.66, big drop. And lane 1, Rosalie came in 2:51.75. She drops 10.01. Nice swim. 2:48. Kate in 6, dropping 3 seconds. Oh, why didn't, wait. Smith. Wait, we're on heat 5. Why didn't this take? I don't know why they're waiting, but that's funny. Worked out well, sorry. I can't control them waiting, but I didn't have the names correct. Now they're correct. That was just fortunate timing. All right, heat 5. Yutso, Isabel, Daniela, Riley, Maria, Alexandra. Weird. Five is in the pool. Names for 6, top right. Lane 3 after the butterfly. Daniela's leading him out. She came in on a 2:43.35. Everybody here 2:43 to a 2:46. All right, we're 100 yards done, 100 to go onto the breaststroke. That's Isabel in 2, continues to lead halfway through the breaststroke. All right, freestyle to go. Isabel in 2, Daniela in 3. Big push from Daniela, but Isabel holds her off. Isabella goes 2:34.19, dropping over 10 seconds off a 2:44.93. Daniela goes 2:34.91, came in 2:43.35. Nice job, ladies. This is heat 6 of 8. Lila, Olivia, Barbara, Charlotte, Anya, and Chloe. We have music on. Somebody's getting a gift. Yeah, I didn't pick the playlist. If anybody can hear, I think it's Jackson 5. Lane 6, first to turn, top of your screen. Here in heat 6, that's Chloe. Catch Chloe up here, lane 6. All right, 110.89 cumulative through the 100 yards. We're on the breaststroke. Now we'll see the girls 5 and 6 popping out. Chloe to the left, Anya to the right here. We'll have freestyle to go. Anya splits 44.91. That's an awesome breaststroke leg. After the 100 yards, the start of butterfly and backstroke. All right, Anya turns. She'll lead them home. That's a big push there. She comes home 34.76 at 2:34.48. That's a big drop, almost 7 seconds off a 2:41.36 seed time. Nice drop. 2:38.09 up there for Chloe. She came in 2:43.06. Nice drop there. Heat 7. Names for the final heat, heat 8, top right of your screen. In 7 here, Sophie, Sonia, Katie, Elizabeth, Ella, and Alexa. It's lane 4 swimmer there. That is Elizabeth. First to turn halfway through the backstroke. Sonia in 2, Katie in 3, Elizabeth in 4. That's your lead 3 swimmers there at the 100-yard mark. We're on to the breaststroke. We'll see them coming at us here. All right, we'll have freestyle to go here. Ladies are right around the 2-minute mark. On that split, that is. Katie Odell there, lane 3, slight lead. She's first to turn, 25 to go. Wow, this is close across the board. They're at the flags. Looks like Katie's gonna hold it. 2:31.7 for Katie. She came in 2:33.01. That's 1.5. No, 1.3. Yeah, 1.3. Nice job. Final heat. Lane 1, Vivian, then we have Dabney Quinn, Catherine, Mora, and Michaela. Those are your swimmers here in heat 8 of 8. Final race for the girls for this session. Then we have 6 heats for the boys. If you're jumping off, glad you could join us today. Hope you enjoyed the coverage. It's really a pleasure to bring it to you. We're back again for a little bit later for the senior recognition and then the older kids session this afternoon, this evening. All right, in the pool here, Vivian, Dabney, Quinn, I think I said this already, Catherine, Mora, and Michaela. All right, ladies will be transitioning to breaststroke here. 100 yards complete, 100 to go. All right, Quinn with the flip turn there. If everybody caught that. That is lane 3, Quinn leading them out. She came in 2:14.96. She's at 1:44.65. That 2:14.96 for a 13-year-old is an awesome time. I don't... 2:23.59 is state wise state for a 13-year-old. .223, I think I said. She goes 2:17. Nice swim. Lane 5, 2:22 for Catherine, dropping time over a second off of 2:23.69. Dabney third, 2:24, right on her seed. 2:30, dropping almost 2 seconds there. Vivian in 1. And Michaela right on her seed. Mora right on it too. Here we go. Heat 1 of 6 for the guys. Names for Heat 2, top right of your screen. All right, any of the fans of the girls jumping off Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you soon. For the boys, we have 6 heats here. This stream is available to rewatch later, tomorrow, and so on. So at any point you want to rewatch it, you can. All right, music's on, giving away gifts here. Sid, Viam, and Owen are swimmers in the pool. All right, we're on to the breaststroke here. All right, lead group down at the far end of the pool. All right, lead swimmer there, lane 4. He's on to freestyle. That is Owen, followed by Viam in 3, and then Sid in 2 coming into your picture. All right, here we come into the finish. Low time here goes 3:02.52 to Owen. That's a 20-second drop. Nice job, Owen. Way to get it going here in heat 1 of 6. Viam into the wall, 3:16. Yeah, Owen must have missed a touch somewhere because it paused and then started up again as if it didn't have enough touches. 3:16 there for Viam, dropping off at 3:21. And then right on, I think Sid, right on your seed. Here we go, heat 2 of 6. All right, in this heat here we have Vavan in 1, Bruno in 2, Ian in 3, Jace is in 4, William in 5. All right, lane 3, first to turn, that is Ian, followed by lane 2, Bruno, and then lane 4, Jace. All right, this will finish up their leg of the backstroke. We'll transition to breaststroke here for lane 2, 3, and 4. see swimmer in 5 coming back into your picture. That's William. And lane 1, Vivon. We'll catch them turning from back to breast. All right, we'll have freestyle to go as the guys hit this left wall to turn. All right, everybody's now turned. This is heat 2 of 6. Lane 3 coming home. This is Ian going low time here. He came in on a 3:12. He'll just be 10 seconds better than that. Nice job. 3:01, Ian. Nice job. Came home 39:02. 3:08's there, flanking him for Bruno and Jace. They both came in on 3:13, so similar improvement there. 5-4, high 4, low 5s. Nice job, guys. That was heat 2. Here we go with heat 3. Daniel, Frederick, Anthony, Alex, Nikita, and Anton. Why didn't we get logos? There we go. Three is in the pool. Names for 4. Top right. Music's on. Somebody's getting a gift. All right. Again, this is heat 3 of 6. This is lanes 2, 3, and 4. Frederick, Anthony, and Alex. Closest to us, 2 further away. All right, we're halfway through this breaststroke. First to turn there is lane 3. That is Anthony Kim. Freestyle to go. We'll jump down to that far end. Here's Anthony turning. He'll have 25 to go. He's followed by lane 4, Alex Sebastian. And then lane 2, Frederick. And you see Daniel in 1. Let's come back to the finish. Anthony Kim goes low here, 2:42.65. dropping 9 3/4 seconds off a 2:52.53. Nice swim. Outside 2:56 in lane 1 for Daniel Lawler, dropping off a 3:00.63. That's 4+. And then Alex Sebastian came in 2:55. He goes 2:49.8. That's 6:55. Sorry. Oh. Here we are. Lane 1 is empty for this heat 4 of 6. Top right of your swimmers in the next heat. That is our heat 5. I just realized that top right, I'm looking at a different monitor. The transparency on that may make that a little hard to read. I don't know why with the bright sun behind it. I don't know if anybody's having that issue. So in the pool here, heat 4, Liam, Lars, James, Noah, Percy, and Jack. The names for heat 5, top right, they're up next. All right, just darken that top right corner up a little bit. Maybe. Sorry if that was hard to read all day. All right, here we are transitioning to breaststroke off the back. Lane 5, first to turn. That is Percy, followed closely by lane 4, Noah. Let's take a look at Noah and Percy as they pop up after their turn. This is lanes 2 and 3, Lars and James. Putting themselves into the mix, as they say. Nice split there, 45-6 for James. We'll take you a wide view. Lead group going left to right. Lane 1 is empty. Lane 6 swimmer will come into frame shortly. There he is. All right, into the finish. Lane 3, James going low. Dropping time. Came in on a 2:44.50. Drops 1 3/4 seconds. 2:42.86. Good stuff. All right. We didn't get the reset on the scoreboard because of lane 1 being empty. That's the little pause. All right, there it is. When you see the zeros up there on the scoreboard, that's when the officials know they're ready. We can reset and start the next one. This is heat 5 of 6. Racers in the final race. Heat 6 up next on the top right of your screen. In the pool here, we have Jack, Henry, Haraz, David, Tommy, and Marcus. This Poiraz in 3, first to turn. All right, we're at the back to breast transition, 100 yards down, 100 to go. Low split there. Looks like lane 4, David goes 36-31. Freestyle to go. David's turning at 155.76. Came in on a 234.66. Does he have like a 32 in him? That'll be a significant drop. All right, he's already turned. Making our way back. We'll catch him under the flags. Again, David came in 234.66. Nice swim there. Comes 33.32. Bettering the 229.08. Nice swim. That's 5+. Awesome final heat. All right, this is our final heat, final race. Leon, Ethan, Henry, Talon, Charlie, and Luca. Henry in 3, first to turn, going out 29.3. Oh, 29.28 for Ethan. Wow, I didn't even 28.76. I get a little. My eyes were deceiving me. I thought lane 3 turned first. He's lane 3's leading at that far end. We'll stay overhead here. Henry at the 100, 33.09 on that back. Awesome swim there, or awesome leg. We're not done yet, folks. All right, freestyle to go. 142 for Henry, 142 Talon. We'll pick them up at the far end, right here. Great effort, guys. Henry goes low, 210. All right, Henry improving. He has 211.89. He goes 210.62. Big drop there. Talon Green came in 214.88. He drops 4 seconds, goes 210.86. Flat out awesome, guys. Great swim. 223, right on your time for Ethan. Leon, right on your time, 231, 231. Same with Charlie and Luca. Awesome swim, guys. Seeing 210.62, 210.86. Both coming home 28. That is great. We got caught the tail end of it. You deserve it. All right, the guys are cooling down. Nice swim. Way to wrap up this session. That was Henry and Talon bringing it home. All right, folks, we'll wrap it up now. Got a short break, and then please join us. Catch the seniors as there we go. I don't know what the comments are over there, but these are the seniors. So we have LJ, Megan, Ava, Sarah, and Declan. All right, so we'll be back when we start the next session. We'll have those 5 seniors being recognized. Coach will bring them out. I don't know if we'll have much of a ceremony with just 5. It'll be pretty quick, so I'm looking forward to it. Again, that'll start right before the next session. I should know what time. I'll tell you for the few people still here. Approximately 4:20. So, all right. All right, folks, we're going to sign off. Thanks for joining us. We will see you soon.